Now, ChatGPT is an AI model, and it can do a lot of things, including helping to create a web application. But of course, ChatGPT can only provide examples and guidance in creating the web application, but it cannot create an entire web application by itself. ChatGPT can assist with things like providing code snippets for specific features, explaining how certain technologies work, and answering questions about best web practices, best web development best practices. However, in terms of creating a web application, it really requires many decisions and trade-offs that can only be made by a human developer, such as defining the application's architecture, choosing the right technologies and libraries, and designing the user interface. In today's tutorial, we're going to enlist the help of ChatGPT in order to create a simple to-do list application with React. Hello everybody, my name is Kutlo. Welcome to Coding 101. This is the channel that helps improve your coding or web development experience one video at a time. If that is something that interests you, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Be sure to like this video if you've learned something new, and leave a comment in the comment section. Now let's continue with our video. Now, like I said in my intro, we're going to enlist the help of ChatGPT in order to create a very minimalistic and simple to-do list application. Now, before we get anywhere, I know maybe many of you, or some of you, who probably live under a rock might not be familiar with the ChatGPT technology. I have a video that I'm going to leave on my cards that will explain to you how to use ChatGPT and all that kind of stuff. So just check out my cards and check out how to use ChatGPT. It's a very, very important technology that's very important for you to have. So in order to create our chat application, we just simply make a simple request. We just say, create a simple, so let's just say help create a simple to-do list application with React.js. Like that. Just press enter and wait for it to give us a response. It says here's an example of how you could create a to-do list application with React. So it gives us, first of all, it gives us a guideline of what to do. It says, of course, you have to establish a React project, and then what you need to do is you need to create a to-do component like it has done there. So in this component, there is an input text. So that's where your to-do items are going to be. Then it advises us to have another component which is going to list down our to-do list items. So 2 components so far that ChatGPT recommends for us to have. And then again, so yeah, this is, I think, the final component, which is like app.js. So this is our default to-do items. And I like that each of these items have a completed value, which shows whether the to-do list application or the to-do list items have been completed or not. And then it says, finally, add the state to the app component. So I think so far we have about 3 functions or 3 components that ChatGPT recommends for us to have. There's a bit of a function over there. So I'm just going to let it load, and then we're just going to copy each of those components inside of our already established or already created React application. Alright, so we've just ran our application over here, and we have the source code in here. So let's go back to our ChatGPT and just try to go through those steps one by one, alright? So the first thing that we need to do is we need to start by setting up a new React project using create React app, but in this case we're using Vite, and then it says create a to-do component that will represent a single to-do item in the list. This component should accept props for the to-do's text and its completion status and render them as needed. That is fantastic. So this is the first component. Let's just copy that and let's come over here and create a folder. We're just going to call it components. And inside of that components, we're going to create a to-do component like that. And we're just going to paste that in. There we go. That's our first component done. And then we're just going to go down. And we're just going to, this one, number 3, it says create a to-do list component that will render a list of your to-do components. This component should accept an array of to-do objects as props and map over them to render individual components. Alright, so all we need to do there is we need to copy this again. And okay, it seems like there's something that is a bit amiss over here, so let's just okay, so this is where the problem was. We need to rename our function as JSX like that. Alright, we solved that problem. Create the second component. It's going to be called to-do list.jsx like that. Let me just copy that in. There's our to-do list. Alright, that's the third step. And then the next thing that we need to do, let's just make sure that we followed everything. So in essence, there are actually 2 components that are involved in the building of this to-do list application. So in the app component, import the to-do list component like this, and then render it with some sample data to test if everything works as expected. Alright, so all this information is going to be inside of our app.js, including the sample data. So inside of our app.js, we'll probably remove everything, and we're just going to say save. You're probably wondering and asking yourself, okay, so you say that ChatGPT is unable to create a complete application, but yet we can see that it has literally created a whole application. And the reason for that is because ChatGPT works with the data that is being fed to it, right? So I'm guessing that it has been given information on how to create a to-do list application. This is why it's able to construct an entire application from scratch. I'm pretty sure if you were to ask it to construct a weather application, it is able to create that application from scratch, from start to finish as well. But for complex applications, it is unable to do without some instructions on how to create those complex applications. So this is just for testing. Over here we can see that this is testing purposes. Let's go back to our application. You can see there's something that is a bit amiss, so we just need to solve that. I believe it's an import error. Now after solving that error, we can see there's our to-do list application with sample data. Let me just put it over to the side. Or what we can do is actually put some padding on this. So we can just say style and just say padding 10 pixels like that. No, just 10 is fine. Alright, so there's our to-do list application. In the next step, which says that we should just add a state to the app component to manage the list of to-dos, and add a form that allows users to actually add new to-do list applications. So I think what I'm going to do with this, I'm just going to copy it like that, and I'm just going to paste it inside my app.js like that. So this is the form that is going to allow us to actually submit to-do list applications, and this is a function that actually handles those to-do lists, right? So that every time we add something, it is added to the to-dos state. Okay, so now we can just simply, so this is our button and this is our input text box. So we can just come over here and say take a shower, and then just click that button, and as you can see we have a new to-do item inside of our to-do list. We can say over here, let me just say subscribe to coding 101, and then we just click our button, and there you go. One of the things to do in our to-do list application is to subscribe to my channel. So yeah, this is how you can create an entire to-do list application with ChatGPT. Doesn't seem too complicated. So this is just a basic example, like they're already saying. You can expand on it by adding more. And by adding more in this case would simply imply adding more styling into it. So because you can see that it's just a basic application, but there's a ton of things that you can do, like maybe add some styling on this button, add some styling on the input text field, add some styling on this checkbox as well. So there are a ton of things that you can do in order to improve this application. But the good thing about this is that ChatGPT is able to give you a running start. You have something that you can just start with. So that is the beauty of ChatGPT. Okay, so that's it from today's tutorial. Be sure to like my channel and subscribe. If you have any comments, leave them on the comment section. So what are the applications that you've probably, because I'm pretty sure you're intrigued by now, you want to go to ChatGPT right now and figure out what applications you can build with ChatGPT. And the good thing about this, and don't tell anybody I said this, is that you can actually take these projects and put them on your GitHub so that you can enhance your portfolio. Alright, that's all I'm gonna say. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you have subscribed. Other than that, I will see you next time on Coding 101.